Hey there. Welcome back to 5-Minute Book Reviews. I'm John Hartness. I'm a professional writer, editor, publisher, podcaster, YouTube guy, reader, and fat guy who gets usurped from his chair because the cat wants to sleep in it and he's so damn cute. So we're going to talk today about another one of my favorite books that I have read. Well, what I'm trying to do with this is do one of these every week and read a book for pleasure, at least one book a week in 2020. Because as an editor and publisher, I read a lot of stuff that's on submission or that I'm editing, and I don't read nearly enough for pleasure. So if I talk about the books that I really enjoy, then it will spur me on to read more. So I was on Facebook, not writing. I got my chapter done, leave me alone. I was on Facebook and my friend Charles Rutledge had said that Old Bones by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child was his favorite book of 2019. So I went over to the Amazon box and it said, hey, you bought this book on December 2nd, which says to me that it was on sale on December 2nd because I like Preston and Child. I read Relic way back in the day. The book came out in 95. I thought the movie was meh, but I thought the book was great. And then they have expanded that series into, like a 19-book series about Agent Pendergast. I know, look at him. Is he not the cutest? Here, let's make sure the cat's in the shot. There. I know who the star of the show is, don't worry. So, Agent Pendergast wasn't even the lead in The Relic. He was just this weird FBI agent who showed up and was all quirky and shit and ended up getting 20 books out of the deal. Well, Preston and Child are some smart boys. What they have done subsequent to this is as they keep writing Pendergast novels, and I'm sure I've screwed up the pronunciation and called him Pendergast, but it's Pendergast. Aloysius Pendergast. Such a great name. But as they've written more and more Agent Pendergast novels, they have taken some of the supporting characters for those books and spun them off into their own books, and that's what's going on in Old Bones. Nora Kelly, who was an archaeologist in their book Thunderhead, and Corey Swanson, who was in Still Life with Crows, are the two main characters in Old Bones. And both of these are old Pendergast books. I think they're like 4 and 6 in the series. So they're going back and mining stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s, creating these new characters and giving them new life, which is really smart from the publishing end, because not only do you already have the IP, you've got the character created, but also because they're early on in the Pendergast series, the barrier to entry to that series to get to the place where this character happens is really low. If you had told me that Nora Kelly first debuted in Pendergast book 15, I'm not going back and reading 14 books to find out who this person is. But if she came in book 4, I might read 1 through 4. And then, well, if Corey Swanson was in book 6, and I've probably got those flipped, I don't remember. Sorry. He's grumpy because I'm disturbing him. Hey. Let's not put any more holes in my D&D shirt. Come on, buddy. Don't declaw your cats. It's cruel. We didn't declaw Puck. We do trim them. But there are lots and lots of little tiny scars all over me. And lots of little tiny holes in all my shirts because of it. But because they come in fairly early in the series, the potential for me to go back, read 4 or 6 books in the Pendergast series is pretty high. And that will lead me into buying the other 12 or 13 or 28 or 905 or however many books there are. So it's really smart from a publishing perspective. Also, the books are really, really smart. The interesting, a craft thing that I found very interesting in this was a lot of thrillers that I read are single point of view. You may have a scene here and there with the villain, like in James Patterson's Alex Cross books. It's primarily from Alex Cross's point of view, but every once in a while you'll see the villain doing something. The Jeff Devers Lincoln Rhyme books are very similar. Sometimes you'll split off and you'll have Lincoln Rhyme's assistant going to do things, and sometimes you'll be back with Rhyme, but it's not, you're generally primarily in one point of view. This book has two primary points of view, Agent Swanson and Dr. Kelly, and I wonder, because I'm a writing nerd, I wonder if that's because the two authors, they each picked a character and, hey, I'll write Corey Swanson, hey, I'll write Nora Kelly, and they already had the outline built, and then they just had to put their chapters together because they outlined the whole thing, and then one guy goes off to write one character's point of view and one guy goes off to write the other. I don't know. I don't know what their process is, but it works. This book is complex. It's got a ton of twists and a lot of things that I never saw coming, and just enough hint of the supernatural to stay off balance even at the very end. There may be a ghost. We don't know. We know that Nora Kelly doesn't believe there's a ghost, but Corey Swanson kind of does. So there's that tension between the real world and the supernatural world that I dig. So I really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to go back and read all of the Pendergast books, but that's going to take a while because they're $10 ebooks and there's about 20 of them. So, hey, if you're Preston and Child's agent or publisher and you want to send a brother e-arcs, feel free. But until then, I'll be back with whatever my next 5-minute book review is that probably will run 8 or 9 minutes. And I'll try to have my chair back and not be surrounded by the tons and tons of stock that I'm taking to MarsCon because I have to load the truck tomorrow. This is a small show, so it's 11 bins of books plus I think we've got 4 boxes and a bag. So yeah, that's a small show now. But hey, I'm going to go to a book signing. You guys go read something. And let me know in the comments what you think I should read this year. Be good to one another. All right?